2 weeks into the new year, but already there are some major developments on the economic front. Ben Bernanke has endorsed the idea of making the next $350 billion of bailout money available to the Obama administration. Now, the good news is that Congress is likely to grant the money. Bad news is Bernanke says it's going to take a lot more than that to get the economy up and running again. Here to discuss this and the bright spots, because it's not all doom and gloom, is Joe Krier, president of Krier Wealth Management. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Stacy.
Okay, so we're not so far into the new year. How have the markets been doing, Joe?
Yeah, it's been a little bit rough. I think a lot of people felt like, hey, we'll get 2008 out of the way and start a new year and things will be different. Well, in the financial markets, it just doesn't really work that way.
Well, okay, we're into the new year, but we still have some of the same old problems. We're going to get to the good stuff in a minute, so hold on there. Lousy earning reports still coming out.
Yeah, you've got corporate America reporting how things went in the fourth quarter of 2008, and as everybody knows, we're in a recession, so not only are they reporting lousy earnings, but they're projecting a lousy 2009. They're kind of trying to set that bar low so that it's a little bit of an easier bogey to beat as they go through the year.
We're seeing unemployment go up. Citicorp now, I mean, some people call them the original financial supermarket, a place where you can do one-stop financial services.
Sure.
That's not working.
Yeah, and you're going to talk about that in a minute with your Wall Street report, but they're kind of shedding their Smith Barney unit, and what people just don't like here is the turmoil, the shuffling around, and it's setting the tone for a lot of deal making to go on early in the year. The good news about that is companies are doing what they have to do. They're taking steps, they're moving things around, and that'll help the situation stabilize later in the year.
Looks like job cuts are going to continue, and you believe there's a possibility there may be more to come.
Yeah, and I think that unemployment could spike to 9, maybe even 10%. The
Wow.
good news about that is that when unemployment spikes like that, it never stays that high. I mean, there's a lot of compelling evidence throughout history going back 100 years where we've seen it spike up like this 7 or 8 times. It's never stayed this way longer than a couple of months.
Couple of months?
That's it.
Okay. That's hard. That seems like a long time, though, for people who are trying to find jobs.
If you're out of a job, I know
Yeah.
it's painful, but we'll get through this.
Okay, the bright spots of the economy. Now, I told you there was some good news here. You believe that they're kind of refocusing, retooling on this bailout spending. What are they doing differently?
Well, what happened when the first bill was passed was the situation was changing by the hour. And I mean, we literally had an earthquake going on Wall Street and in the banking world. And fortunately, things have slowed down enough so that they can sit back and maybe go back to the original plan. When they set this plan out, literally by the time they wrote it and 2 weeks later, the game had changed so much that they really couldn't do it the way they wanted. Now it's getting back to the point where they can start buying some of these assets that they wanted to in the first place, and that's going to be a real good thing as far as setting a foundation for our economy.
You believe banks are stabilizing? Are they lending to one another like is so important, we've been told?
Yeah, compared to 2 months ago, absolutely. I mean, no bank trusted anybody. Nothing was in motion. Now there is money in motion. Mortgage rates have dropped significantly. I've had a number of people that I've talked about, I've sent them to various places to talk about refinancing, and there is money in motion. There are mortgage lenders with money to lend out there.
I have 2 friends who are in the real estate market. They're agents, and they said things have really been picking up just in December and January alone. Some other bright spots, you believe, a new presidential administration, maybe just to give a fresh start, and then consumers are having a reality check. It's setting in.
Yeah, definitely. The new administration, it's all good. There's a lot of good people that Obama's put on his cabinet, and he's having his own reality check as far as, from the campaign rhetoric to trying to translate that into taking positive action steps, working together with Bernanke and Geithner and all of his staff. And as far as consumers go, yeah, the lousy Christmas season is a good thing because we didn't go out there and buy too much stuff that we couldn't afford. We spent less, and it's a sign that consumers are hunkering down and just saying, okay, we're going to get through this.
You heard the holdup with Geithner, potentially, right, in his taxes? We're going to get more on that in the 8 o'clock hour of the morning show.
Always stuff to come up. Yep.
Always stuff in those confirmation hearings. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate your time this morning. 7:28 now.